How you doing, everybody? Nick DiVirgilio here to talk to you and to play for you this Roland V-Drum kit. These are the TD-25KVs, fantastic electronic drums that are really playable, feel really, really good in the hands and the feet. Lots of cool sounds that are fully customizable and a really super easy to use, fully streamlined user interface. All of these things come together in combination to make for one really fun drumming experience. So let's get into the details about this amazing technology. All right, out of the box with this Roland drum kit, you get everything you see here except a hi-hat stand, kick drum pedal, and throne. You have to provide those yourself, but it works with any standard kick drum pedal or hi-hat stand. You get 9 pads with this kit. The snare drum is the PDX 100. It has positional sensing in it, and what that does is it mimics a real snare drum all the way out to the edge of the drum, not just in the center. When you play a real snare drum out to the edge, it sounds a little bit different. The snare wires buzz a little bit differently, and they've tried to accommodate all of those things in this pad. It's really, really cool. You get the same PDX 100 for the floor tom, PD 85s, 2 of them for the rack toms here. All of these mesh heads you can tighten up and tune them higher, lower, just get them to feel wherever you're comfortable. Right out of the box, these pads feel great. I haven't touched them at all. They've got nice rebound. They're easy on the hands when you play them. They're very, very cool. You get 2 CY12 crash cymbals, CY13R for ride, for the ride cymbal. For the kick drum, you get the KD9 trigger. Feels really, really good. Same mesh head on there as well. For the hi-hat, it's called the VH11 trigger. To me, it's really amazing that they get all of this technology in this little package here. Let me show you what I mean. It's really amazing. Comes in 3 simple pieces. Your top cymbal. It's what you hit. This is actually the bottom of this is your bottom cymbal of your hi-hat, right? Instead of another pad that looks the same size as this, it's just this little contraption here and a washer. Fits on any standard hi-hat stand. Right over the rod there. Back on top. Has a normal hi-hat clutch. Tighten up, and there you go. Really cool, and it's just amazing to me how it works. While we're talking about the hi-hat, let me put on my trusty Audio-Technica ATH M50 headphones and show you what this hi-hat can do. You can do all of your normal hi-hat technique things with this pedal setup here. That feels really normal. Obviously, it's a lot quieter because they're not real cymbals here, but the sounds coming through the brain and the feel of the action of the hi-hat stand is really, really quite nice. And the modeling of the cymbal sound, the sustain is just sweet, really, really cool. Okay, now we're going to get into the sounds that come with this TD-25KV drum kit. The heartbeat of this whole drum kit is the brain over here. This is the TD-25 drum module, and it's sort of like the baby brother to the TD-30. The TD-30, for those of you who don't know, is Roland's flagship model. It has tons of great sounds and tons of great features, and they've pared it down and streamlined that into this box right here, and this is super easy to use. Let me show you around the box right now. You have a big knob right in the middle. You have 18 drum kits that come standard in the TD-25, and they set up the drum kits in genres. And right now you have standard rock, metal, jazz, funk, and electro. Each one has 3 drum kits on it. And all you have to do to switch to the other drum kits is press the knob. It cycles through the 3 drum kits. Then if you want to go to the different genre, rock, press it 1, 2, or 3 times to cycle through the different drum kits, and so on. You have some knobs here. You have a master volume, bass and treble, which is a nice little EQ feature. Backing is for the backing tracks, which I'll get to in just a second. You have a click track with the tempo here so you can practice along. The song select button here is so you can plug in a USB key and play along to MP3s or WAV files. Really cool feature. You have a phone input, which is for your headphones. An audio input so you can plug in your iPod, your computer, any kind of thing, 1/8" jack to play along to tracks and to practice. Since it's the KV version, like I said, you get the extra crash cymbal, so that's already plugged in here, but you also have another aux input for another trigger if you like. MIDI out, your master left and right, power, and on this side you have 2 USB slots. One is for the USB key, and the other one is for a USB cord to go directly to your computer. That's it. That's everything in the brain. Really streamlined and easy to look at, easy to use. Now, getting into customizing the drums, this is super simple. Say you want to change the sound of the kick drum. Hit the kick drum, press the instrument button. It shows you kick drum. The light is flashing around the knob, telling you the parameter you can change. Turn the knob and you'll change the different kick drum sounds. Same with the snare. Hit the snare, it's flashing, turn the knob, and you can change the sound. Say I want to change the pitch of the snare. There's a button right next to it that says tuning. Tune the tuning knob. You'll see the parameter going down. It gets low. Tune it really high. Wherever you like, whatever sounds good to you. Really easy to use. The next one to it says muffling. This one's a really cool feature. This has all kinds of different muffling options for the drum. So right now, as soon as you turn the knob, it switches the screen to show you the edit feature, right? So now its muffling is off. There's no muffling on this particular sound. You can hear it sustaining. But say I want a little muffling. Well, you have tape 1, so that's a little bit of muffling. Tape 2, more. Donuts, which is a ring. Since it's a snare drum, you know, they mimic everything like a real drum kit. So a donut is a ring that goes around the full head of the drum. That really starts muffling it a lot. Donut 2, which is even more. And it deadens it up pretty good. And you can do the same thing with all of the drums. Really, really cool feature. And then your level feature here where you can turn up or turn down each individual sound of the drum kit. And then as you program the drums here, it saves automatically. Another really cool feature that they thought of, which I think is really, really neat and worth mentioning, say you go through and you customize your drum kit. Say you change the different, there's all kinds of different sounds you can get. So you put a cowbell on the kick drum, and on the snare drum you put some kind of other crazy sound. There you go. And I'm just kind of messing it up on purpose to give you a demonstration. There you go. So definitely different than the original drum kit. Totally messed it up, right? You got to get back to the original sounds. All you have to do is hit the undo button and then hit restore, and it restores. Now you're back to the original kit that came when you turned on the box the first time. Really cool, convenient feature. It's like kind of almost mistake-proof, really. All right, so now let me get into some of the sounds that you get right out of the box here. The kit that I played at the top of the video was their standard #1 kit out of the box called the Custom Maple. You'll notice when I hit the cymbals here how much they sustain and they sound a lot like real cymbals. They decay like real cymbals. It's amazing the technology they use, their behavior modeling they call it, to really kind of get all the nuances of a real cymbal or a real drum. One of my favorites here, I'm going to the rock genre here. Rock stage kit #1, big reverb. Check this out. Very, very cool. You'll notice that these drums, the mesh pads and the technology in the brain make it so I can play ghost strokes and buzzes and a lot of the same things that I would do on a normal drum kit on these electronic drums, and it feels pretty darn normal. It's really, really cool. There's a metal setting if you're like into your speed metal and you want to practice your speed chops. I am not a metal drummer, but it's something like this. You can choke the cymbals like a real cymbal. How cool is that? Jazz setting. The crash cymbal on my right side on that particular patch has a little sizzle to it. So again, they really kind of thought about everything in every genre that they picked. Some cool kits in the funk section over here. There's 3 funk drum kits. This is the dry funk, which I really like this one a lot. Definitely a cool sound. And you do get some electric sounds, 909 kind of stuff. Now, one of the great things about electronic drums to me is the fact that they can play other sounds other than normal, acoustic drum sounds. In a situation where you're in an original band, take advantage of these sounds because they're really interesting and you can really get creative, and it's a lot of fun to check out. All right, one of the coolest features about this TD-25 Brain is the fact that you can play along with tracks and practice to your heart's content. I have a USB key here with a song that I created just to demonstrate. When the key is in, the lights around the song select and the tempo light up so you know that there's a key plugged in and there's something going on there. So all I have to do is get to the setting that I want to use. I'm going to use the Soul Jam Funk number 2 setting here. USB song, the song that's on my USB comes up right here. Basically just hit play and play along. How fun is that? Really, really cool. You can do that with, if you're in a cover band and you got to play and practice to a bunch of different tracks, you can load them in with that, play along. And last feature to show you here, you can actually record yourself playing to those tracks, and just to kind of reference what you're doing, if you're rushing, if you're dragging, if you're, it's a very cool practice tool. All you have to do is hit the record button, which is right here on the bottom left. It's waiting for you. It's like in standby mode. In fact, it says standby right on the screen there. Hit the play button and you're recording. All right, so let's see what I sounded like on the playback. How cool is that? You can have somebody send you a song from anywhere in the world, put it on your USB key, play to their track, send it back to them, and just work on things in real time, get practice parts before you go into the studio. All kinds of really cool things can come out of this feature here in a practice setting. Really, really fun and super easy to use. Now, hopefully you can tell by the playing and all of this stuff how great these pads and the sounds feel and how they react to my hands. Lots of ghosting and stuff underneath. The volume is nice and even between the loud and the soft, and it just sounds, to my ear, like a real drum kit. Lots of fun to play. All right, and that's about it. This is the TD-25KV V-Drum kit by Roland. Great pads that feel really, really good. Great sounds that are really natural and just getting better all of the time. a really easy to use user interface that's fully customizable, and it's small. You can take it around to a bunch of different places, churches, house of worship, clubs. Definitely practice in your apartment with these drums. It's all around really cool electronic drum kit. If you want any more information about this Roland TD-25KV V-Drum drum kit, just talk to your Sweetwater sales engineer.